Hi, everyone. Welcome. I am Jen. This is Laura here from Turquoise Wine Bar, and we're really excited to have a new guest joining us today. This is Remi Cohen from Domaine Carneros out of Napa Valley. Hi, Remi.
Hi, Jen and Laura. Hi, everybody.
Thank you for joining us. We're super excited to have you. For anybody who doesn't know, will you tell them where you are at and what you produce?
Yes, I am currently overlooking the beautiful terraces of Domaine Carneros from my office here in Napa Valley. Domaine Carneros is an estate-grown winery that specializes in producing traditional method sparkling wines and limited production Pinot Noirs as well, all from our estate-grown vineyards, all within the Carneros region, either here at the Chateau or very closely located.
Yeah, and if anybody has not been there, it truly is the most spectacular place to go. It is so beautiful. Those grounds are just stunning.
It's beautiful. So, Remi, tell us a little bit. How did you get to where you are? You kind of grown up in the wine world, or did you just come on?
No, not at all. I grew up in New Jersey, very far from the wine world. But when I was looking at colleges, I saw that UC Berkeley had a great science program, which I was very interested in. I was also pretty bohemian, so I thought it would be a good fit. So I went to college all the way across the country at Cal and fell in love with the area. And so I was looking at different grad school programs in the Bay Area. And I discovered that UC Davis had the program for viticulture and enology, which is the science of grape growing and winemaking. And it just clicked in that moment because I felt like that encapsulated all of the things I was interested in, from sustainability to chemistry and biology, agriculture, but also had a fun element, a social element, and a really cool like marketing and business component that made it more well-rounded than many other science type of career tracks.
Mm-hmm. So what position did you have when you first joined the company?
Yeah, so the day that I heard about the program at UC Davis, I signed up. I had made contact with a professor at UC Davis, and he said, "Oh, you studied genetics at the mothership," meaning Cal. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're in." So he's like, "You'll have to apply as a formality, but we'll be excited to have you." So I went to Davis and got my master's degree. And in that program, I studied a lot of winemaking, but I really emphasized on the viticulture side. And it's still my favorite part of the business. In fact, right before we got on the call, I just took advantage of the beautiful weather and took a little walking loop around the estate vineyard here. I do my best thinking, and I get to stay in touch with the season. So when I got out of Davis, I got a job as a viticultural assistant for harvest at Saintsbury Winery, which is just a couple miles from here. And after that internship ended, I was really lucky to get a vineyard manager job at Bouchain, also a winery just a few miles from here. So I spent almost the first decade of my career in Carneros, working specifically as a viticulturist and a vineyard operations director type roles. I worked for Maryvale and Starmont, which was located throughout Napa Valley, but Starmont was located also here in Carneros. I only took a brief departure from Carneros for about a decade. I worked as the director of winemaking, and then eventually the COO at Cliff Lady Vineyards in Stags Leap District, making beautiful Cabernets. And after about a decade working there, I had my dream job came true, and I was able to take over from Eileen Crane as the CEO here at Domaine Carneros. That was in 2020, and 5 years, more than 5 years now, has flown by.
That's
bet. Awesome.
And gosh, what a crazy time, 2020, to be taking over something like that.
Yes, no pressure. I started on the first day of harvest in 2020. We did the annual toast where we sabered the bottle, and everybody was wearing masks. I had like 130 new employees, and I couldn't see their faces. And
yeah,
it was definitely a crazy time. And it's been a roller coaster since then. As we all know, running businesses in the last 5 years, it's been really challenging. But the team here is amazing. The property, as you mentioned, is just outstandingly beautiful. We have the best wine club members, really like a great loyal group of people who have been with us, in some cases, many since basically the inception of the wine Wine Club, which was in the mid-90s. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. What a
That's-
compliment.
Yeah,
That's
it's
really
great.
great. Now, one thing I'd love to just explain for anybody listening is the connection that Domaine Carnos has with France. Can you give a little background on that?
Yes, when people come to Domaine Carneros, they always love seeing the beautiful chateau. So we have a French-style chateau on the hillside with amazing views of the surrounding valley and the vineyards. And I love telling the story of why we have this beautiful French chateau. We were founded by the Tattinger family, Tattinger family, in the 80s. And that family actually wasn't originally from Champagne. Pierre Tattinger was stationed in Champagne during World War I, and he was stationed in a beautiful manor house called the Chateau de la Marqueterie. And he fell in love with the area, and he fell in love with the building itself. And he said that if there was ever an opportunity to buy the building, that he would. And in the global Great Depression between World War I and World War II, he bought the Marqueterie. It was about 1932, I believe. And that was really the birthplace of Champagne Tattinger. It's not a functional winery, but it was what caused the family to locate and relocate into the Champagne region and start making champagne. And it's still a really meaningful part of like the soul and spirit of Tattinger. And they bring trade guests there. They have important family events. So fast forward, now it's the 1940s. They've got their business established. They start exporting wine into the U.S. and visiting the U.S. more regularly. And second generation Claude Tattinger started keeping an eye on Napa Valley and saw the potential for Napa as a region to invest in. And so they looked for, I think, almost 15 years for a property where they could grow Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, the traditional Champagne varieties. And when they found the property where Domaine Carneros is now located, it was already planted to Chardonnay and Pinot Noir in a region known for those varieties, and is also on the gateway to wine country. And so they just knew that they had found their home in the U.S. And in 1986, they bought the property. And in 1987, they kicked off with the goal to make traditional method, sometimes called champagne method, sparkling wines at that time.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. And it's such a romantic story. Anything that links back to Champagne is just,
Yes.
Something exciting.
They're an incredible family too. And if you ever get a chance to visit them, now they've relocated to the main city of Reims, and they have underground caves that date back to the 4th century. I get shivers thinking about them. It never dulls on me how incredibly special their properties are, and just the family, the level of the family involvement. And I mentioned too, Domaine Carneros grows its own grapes. Tattinger also has a lot of their own vineyard holdings, which is really great. I think they own the largest percent of their production of any of the grand houses of Champagne.
That's awesome to hear. They also have, I love between both locations, the female leadership between the two is just, that's something so cool. So we love supporting women winemaker, women run, estates. And so that's something really great for us to be part of.
Yeah, Vitaly Tattinger now, I guess 4th generation, is running the winery as well. And so it's just really great that they've always been progressive in so many different ways, but with their investment in the U.S., with hiring Eileen Crane as a founding winemaker, one of the first women winemakers in California, and now with Vitaly at the helm of Tattinger.
Yeah, I love that. Force to be reckoned with. Well, okay, so next time we're in Champagne, we will for sure
you have to
check that one out. We did not hit it last time we were there, so I guess we have to go back.
Yeah, darn. We'll go. We'll make it happen. Yeah, right. We'll make it happen.
So tell us a little bit about what people experience when they come see your team at Domaine Carneros.
Well, when you arrive, it's really fun to walk up the grand staircase and experience like the traditional French landscaping and take lots of photos. It's very Instagram worthy. But then they're greeted in our foyer with warm hospitality. And without planning in advance, one of the things that makes Domaine Carneros special is we offer different options for tasting flights, and also many different selections selections to upgrade your experience with different food pairings, everything from cheese and charcuterie to caviar, smoked salmon, and other little bites that you can pick and choose from in addition to customizing your flight. Sparkling, all sparkling, sparkling or red wine. Do you want the beginner overview, or do you want the more elevated wines? And so you can really customize your experience even without planning ahead. But for those who want, even deeper engagement, we offer all of these other elevated and, more engaging experiences, such as our Bubbles and Bites, which features different global cuisines from around the world that pair with sparkling wines, really showing the versatility of sparkling wine pairing. We've got a more like in-depth tasting with caviar with Tsar Nikolai, a local sustainable producer that we work very closely with. And we recently launched a new sensory tour where people really get to know the behind the scenes of the production, the winemaking, but also really learn to engage with the aromas and the flavors in both sparkling and Pinot Noir, and then also learn how the different foods that you're pairing with it changes different impressions of the wine and vice versa. And so it's a really cool new experience. So there's a lot of options.
Oh, that sounds cool. I think we have photos on that staircase.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we got our own Instagram moment while we were there. It is beautiful. Awesome. Well, it all just makes me want to come back and have some sparkling wine right now. Although I was just saying, we're obsessed with the Pinot Noir. So I know you guys are known for your sparklings. Our world people are always talking about the sparklings, but the Pinot Noir is just really, really beautifully done.
Yeah, that was our holiday wine that we had at home. So good job there. It was amazing. It was amazing.
The Pinot is a funny story because it wasn't the initial intention of the family to make Pinot Noir here. And Eileen, our founding winemaker, who was here for 33 years, by the way, just such an iconic influencer in the wine industry. But Eileen and her team were making a couple barrels of Pinot Noir from the property because the area is known for still Pinot Noirs, and they thought it would be fun. And that way they could use it at holiday parties or gifts for the employee wines. And she thought she was getting in trouble. So we don't use barrels to age our sparkling wines. We really go for the pure expression of the vineyard and the pure expression of the traditional method process and the creaminess and complexity that gives to the sparkling wines. So when Claude Tattinger was visiting and he saw a couple barrels of Pinot Noir, he was like, "What are those barrels for?" And so she told him, and she was like, "Oh my God, am I going to get in trouble?" He's like, "I want to taste that." And so she gave him a taste of the wine, and he loved it so much that he said, "We need to start making this." And he decided right then and there that we were going to start making a little bit of Pinot Noir. And actually, fast forward to this day, and the Tattingers are one of the biggest supporters and fans and purchasers of Domaine Carnero's Pinot Noir, and they serve it at a lot of their events over in France, which is really fun. But over time, we've actually really dedicated to the Pinot program. First of all, we farm over 400 acres, and it's only Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, but we actually farm, I think it's about 18 clones of each variety. And so there's a lot to cherry pick from with the different rolling hills and the aspects. And some of the vineyards are, dedicated to the Pinot program, but we can really pick and choose for that. And we've also over time built it's a separate building that houses what we call our Pinot Noir facility, but it's a separate winemaking space with open top tanks and the equipment that is used for the Pinot Noir winemaking process. And actually, that was one of the biggest learning experiences for us in terms of building a winery really sustainably, and helped us launch even more the sustainability program that Eileen had put in place since the inception of the winery.
That's awesome. Yeah, I guess if Claude Tattinger comes and says you're going to sell this Pinot Noir, then you've got to start selling Pinot Noir.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
We're glad he did. And it sounds like you guys are too. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I made the mistake of sharing a bottle with my dad, and now he's like, "I want more of that. I need more of that." So I'm like, "Okay, stay out of my collection."
I gifted a bottle to the guy that helps me manage my pool, and he sent me a text the other day. He's like, "Can I get some more of that?"
That was amazing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just wait. This podcast is going to go on, and we're going to get all these people coming in asking for the Pinot. We have some
Good.
big Pinot Noir drinkers, so we will make sure that Russ gets his Pinot
Yes,
Noir at the
right.
bar. Yeah, but the world is crazy. The environment is crazy. Everything like is kind of in this weird spot right now. Tell us like what's exciting about winemaking. What are you doing? Like what's exciting and hopefully new and fun that's coming down the road?
Yeah, I think for us, we are a nice blend of like traditional things and trying to stay kind of fresh and current. I think to me, what's exciting is actually just continuing to explore and meeting new people and connecting people with people through wine. And I think we're always interested in seeing like what other people think. Like our Ultra Brut has become one of our like most sought after wines. It's one of our driest style sparkling wines. I think as consumer palates are changing, people are seeing a trend for, drier styles. So that's something that we've been picking up on. I think in general, our wines over the years have gravitated towards a little bit of a drier style as well. And that's something that I think the wine industry is experiencing globally. And one thing that's been fun for us to play with are single vineyard expressions of sparkling wines. So we've noticed with the popularity of grower champagnes, those wines are like a little bit more individual. They're more unique because they are generally from smaller parcels. And so that's something that we've been playing around here is which of our 6 different estate vineyards is expressing special attributes in a given year, and then playing with those expressions. So I think we're always kind of open-minded about what we do. I mentioned the new tour that we just created. We just know that people are wanting to learn more as part of their experience and engage on a more meaningful level and have things to take home, not actual things, but like ideas and connections and learning. And so that's why we've been really experiential focused in terms of our hospitality at the winery.
I think that's great. I think that's what we're seeing in the wine bar side of things as well, is people are really looking for that experience and that connection. They want to know the story behind the wine that they're buying. They want to have more of that community experience every time they come in the door.
I know, that's why it's so great what you guys are doing. I love the level of engagement you have with the wineries and with your clientele, which is amazing. And I can't wait to come visit and do an event with you. So,
Yeah.
Well, you are invited to come anytime.
Okay, great.
Anytime. So,
You said we were going to France.
and then we'll go to France.
Yes.
Come pick us up on your way.
So I think that kind of hits on the last topic is you guys are a winery partner with us, and we really have grown this program into finding the perfect partners for us. Anyone who's in our wine club can come out, visit you guys, get a small discount, enjoy their stay there. So what do you think about something like that? Is that something that you guys have done in the past, or are we kind of the starting point of that?
Yeah, you guys are one of the few. We have a couple organizations, not so much bars, like wine bars like you, but travel groups that we'll work with that bring kind of curated tours and events. So I think this is a new model, which is really fun. And it seems like it's resonating really well with the clientele, and you guys are growing your customer base, and we're happy to, to go with it and see where it goes and meet some of your friends.
Yes, that would be amazing.
We're going to send them your way. So everybody listening, when you're ready to take your next trip to Napa, you have to go visit Remi and team at Domaine Carneros. So
Yes,
you
please.
contact Laura and I. We will get you hooked up. But it is for sure a spot you do not want to miss.
Yeah.
It is not
Gotta
only,
be
not
one of
only-
the most beautiful
yeah.
ones we've been to.
not only beautiful, but the best
Yeah.
wines as well. So it'll be quite the experience.
Yeah.
So thank you so much,
Thank you
Remi.
so
Thank
much.
you. Yeah.
Thanks for meeting with us when we came to see you earlier this year and
Oh,
doing
yeah, I'm
a
so
call.
glad I
Everyone
did.
will love it. And if you're ever in Arizona, let's connect, and we'd love to have you come out and
will.
meet some of our customers in person.
I look forward to it.
We will plan an event. So thank you so much. And we
welcome.
will be hopefully in touch soon.
Sounds great.
All right. Thanks.
you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.